I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, Oh, I'm on a.
All right, welcome. This is Financial Literacy with TC. I'm your boy TC. I want to thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Financial Literacy with TC. I'm super excited today. As you guys can see, we're back in the Forge, Community Forge. Shout out to them. We're here for an amazing episode. I have two of my special guests from Amachi. We're going to learn about that organization here in the city of Pittsburgh. They've been doing phenomenal things for years as far as mentorship and everything that goes along with helping our youth and helping families be better when it comes to bridging gaps that we see in our community. So I was so excited to have them join me on the podcast today. So before we dive into my introductions of them, I would definitely want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, and share. The goal is to continue to bring financial literacy content to our city, our platform, our individuals in our community, so we can help be better educated. And with that being said, I'm gonna jump into the introductions. So we have Ryan Lewis here. He is the family engagement specialist. Oh no, I'm sorry. He is the
outreach coordinator. Yes.
My apologies, y'all. We won't roll with it. And then I have Caprice Scott. She is the lady who I've admired for years. We've had a nice friendship for years. She is the family engagement specialist for Amachi. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So before we get into my first question, I just want to give you guys, a few minutes to, introduce yourself as far as your titles and what you guys bring to Amachi, the organization.
So I'll start. My name, like you said, my name is Ryan Lewis. I'm the outreach coordinator for Amachi Pittsburgh. I am basically the first person that you see always at tabling events in the community, reaching families, reaching, potential new mentors, doing presentations, just spreading the good word and awareness about Amachi.
Awesome.
Fun fact, I want to incorporate that into your show. We are sanctuary certified.
Nice.
And being sanctuary certified, we start all of our meetings with community meeting.
Yeah.
And we have 3 questions where we ask, how are you feeling? What is a goal for you today? And the third question is, who can you ask for help if you need it today?
I love that.
So I'm gonna start with you, TC. How you feeling today?
Man, I feel honored and blessed because my goal has always been to work with organizations that are doing phenomenal things, and no organization embodies that better than you guys. So I'm just blessed that you guys
Thank you.
Me.
What is a goal for you today?
A goal for me today is to do exactly what we're doing right now. Talk about financial literacy as it pertains to improving families, improving communities, and you guys are helping me do that. So I'm gonna check that goal off.
And who can you ask for help if you need it today?
Honestly, I'm gonna not go with the easy answer, which would be you guys, because you're helping me complete the mission. But I would say my wife.
Okay.
She gives me that internal strength, or she helps me build the internal strength I need to do what I do.
I love that.
Because I couldn't, be out here in the community. I couldn't be out here if she didn't support what I was doing. So I'm gonna go with my wife.
Shout out to your wife.
I gotta incorporate that. Not me.
Yeah.
Caprice.
Hey, my name is Caprice Scott. I am the Family Engagement and Match Support Specialist at Amachi Pittsburgh. I work with the families. I coordinate. You can look at it as I'm a liaison between the mentors, the mentees, and the guardians. I also try to, and I do incorporate different workshops to enrich not just our participants, but the community as well.
I love that. So let's dive right into it. We're going to start a lot from a structure standpoint with Ryan, just to give us the backdrop of Amachi, give us some history, give us some services, and really dive into so you guys can understand the value that Amachi brings and has been bringing to the community. And then we're going to transition into me and Caprice talking about a special event we have coming up November 2nd.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're going to dive into just letting you guys know what we got coming up. We want to encourage you guys to come out. We want you to make sure you're sharing this event, getting excited because it's an event we think our community definitely can benefit from and really capitalize and use to help elevate our entire culture, to be honest with you. So with that being said, that's going to be our structure for today, just to make sure we are highlighting Amachi and all the amazing things they do. We're going to dive into an event we have coming up November 2nd, and then we're going to close it out, and we're very excited. So Ryan, I'm going to kick it off with you, man.
Sure.
Let's just get into the backdrop and how Amachi came to be.
So Amachi, we are the only nonprofit in Allegheny County that we dedicate our mission to youth impacted by parental incarceration. So we offer one-on-one mentoring, 4 hours a month, from the ages to be qualified as a mentee is from ages 6 to 18. And it's just 4 hours a month, year commitment. Most of the time, the goal is for that to go beyond the year commitment.
Okay.
And we have a youth leadership development program called Amachi Ambassadors. The youth, and that's from ages 14 to 18.
Okay.
They already have their voices to be young leaders in the community.
Right.
Amachi, the amazing ambassador coordinator, his name is Ryan Taylor. He is just there as a kind of like a support, like a nudge, to give them a safe. They meet every other Saturday safe space to give them a safe space to talk about what's going on in their community, what is going on in school, what is going on with families. So Ryan really gives them that space, and they go to Harrisburg and speak on these legislations and unfortunate circumstances that they are going through. So they are, like I said, they are already young leaders, and then that family engagement aspect is what Caprice. She brings to the table, and a lot more razzle dazzle. We are launching a new outreach initiative called Here For You. Here For You is a mobile unit where we are going into communities directly in the Mon Valley area. Backtracking a little bit, it's our 20th year.
20.
Shout out to 20 years. 20 under the leadership of our esteemed and amazing executive director, Miss Anna Hollis Kander. We love you. We respect you. Hi, Miss Anna. Honored to represent Amachi and what they, represent. Fun fact. God, can I talk today? Amachi is Nigerian Igbo for who knows what God has brought us through this child.
Yes. Say one more time, a little bit slower for them to.
Amachi is Nigerian Igbo for who knows what God has brought us through this child.
Yes.
Should have said that at the beginning, but there you have it. Hey. Better late than never. But
exactly.
Yes, we're celebrating our 20th year. It'll be on November 14th. Going to be a beautiful event celebrating the impact of 20 years. Nonprofits in this city don't really make it that long, so this is really a big deal. Rare. And it's going to be a beautiful event. And like I was saying, backtracking to, we're thinking of the legacy, and we want to think of the legacy beyond 20 years. And that's what this mobile unit will represent for Amachi, and as an extension called Here For You. We're going to provide programming. We have 7 commitments, which Caprice can help me with, because sometimes I say it so
description to make sure we have a clear, precise way of how we can, make sure people understand what we bring to the table with Amachi. So I'm excited about that. Is there anything you want to add as far as being the engagement specialist?
Well, I just like to speak Amachi in everything that I do in the communities. I'm in the communities a lot, and I also would like to be that voice for both parents and guardians and mentors, as well as the mentees. Because at the end of the day, that's who's important, and that's the impact in which we want to give, especially, for those that are in our communities, So by me being of the community and also a past participant, I actually have the insight of knowing what it's like to be on both sides.
Got you. No, and that's phenomenal because, before I say what I want to say, we're definitely going to make sure, because I know Ryan said a lot, we're going to have all that information in the description so we can make sure you don't miss the dates. The celebration is going to be huge. And then we're also going to have the class for the family engagement November 2nd. We'll have all that in the details of the description. But what I love about what you guys said is not one, how enthusiastic you were, but two, also when you talk about being a participant and being on both sides to now where you're helping the mentees and the mentors forge that relationship, no pun intended, because we're at community for it. But it's really, it speaks more than just a job from when I interact with you guys. Just giving, if you're comfortable with it, just giving a little bit about why you guys joined Amachi from either a personal experience or, you know, just what motivated you guys to get into this line of work, because you really could be doing anything else with your lives.
That's true.
But there has to be a level of care and concern, or you know, there has to be something that connects you to the work you guys do.
Definitely. I say for me, I've been with Amachi for a little over a year. I was very intentional about looking for a specific kind of job. I knew in my life, I always wanted to be a guide, be a resource, almost mentoring in a way to young people. And it's so funny how this job I came across it, and I was like, I did my research and I loved the mission and what it represented. And I said, how can I be a part of this? I think in my first interview, I was like, when do I start? Mind you, I had to go through a whole process, you know, but I was just so adamant on being a part of this mission. And, you know, meeting Miss Anna, our ED, like she just had such a glowing aura around her that just felt welcoming, and it made me feel safe and gravitate. Yeah, you know, and it made me feel safe. And doing my learning, my research, I knew that I could represent, you know, this organization really well, and providing my experience with, you know, outreach and things I do, and incorporating that and taking it to the next level, you know. So all about elevating.
Oh, that's huge. Caprice?
Speaking of mission and aligning with that mission, me being a past participant and also working with those who are in the prison, because I also am in the prison ministry at my church as well.
Thank you for that, because that's needed.
It is needed. What really is needed is mentors. Yes. Mentors are they are an extended family. That's what they're meant to be. You know, extended family. Someone that the child can go to in the event is they can't talk to their own parent. And me trying to break these generational curses. I actually signed on to be a mentor as well. Me knowing just the things and that I have gone through as a child, and to break these generational curses, to break these, and you'll hear me say that again, because that is part of our mission, and it's a personal mission for me, because I have a son. And as I said, he was a past participant. His mentor, he had moved out of town, but yet and still he was a great part, and he also was an extension of our family.
I love that. And as someone who has a mentor in different, I'll say I got at least probably 10 mentors.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, a lot of times I don't even, we don't call it a mentor-mentee relationship, but literally there are people I could call and that's what it is.
Literally, yeah.
So that aspect is phenomenal. And a lot of times if you don't have that growing up, you know, you can have those trials and tribulations in life that just get you incarcerated or get you, you know, God forbid, killed. And these are things that
you don't have to go through it alone.
Exactly.
And
that's
you
the
have
part
you have someone who you can trust. Building that trust is a big thing. Children today need someone who they can trust outside of their immediate family, just to have another listening ear, someone of guidance, someone who can steer them in the right way, and also relate, you know, because that's really big. I think the youth of today are looking for someone in which they can relate to.
Right.
It's true.
So I want to throw some financial into this conversation.
Okay, that's fine.
one of the things when we talk about mentor mentee, what are sort of the things you guys push your mentor and I don't even want to say push, but how does that look from, if you can give an example of how that looks from, are they working with them on an individual basis, or is it all organic? And I'll structure this question based on my own personal testimony. So while I'm, as of right now, not a mentor yet, at least not with Amachi, but I'm a mentor to others.
We can get that. We can set that up.
Okay? I knew that was coming.
It's on the video. It's on the podcast. You heard it. TC.
In due time. I would say that. But it's really about, I have people who look up to me just in the way of how I do things. And for me to be able to say, I don't want to steer you in a direction I think you should go. Let's have this organic conversation. So just what does that structure and conversational piece, or give us some insight on what that looks like when the mentor and the mentee come together? So we can drop the barriers and
so Ryan can speak on that because he's a mentor. He's actually a mentor.
Thank you, Caprice. Yes, I'm a mentor here through Amachi. My mentee is Sayer. Shout out to Sai. He is 13. Okay. He is quiet. He is very smart. And very mature for his age, almost very independent. I check on him and I'm like, hey, do you want to talk about anything? He's like, I'm okay. Keeps it, he gets to the point with me. But on a base, what it looks like is, it's completely volunteer. When being a mentor, of course you go through his guardian, his mother. I go through his mother, ask him, hey, what's the schedule look like? Actually, I do text him first because he is the busiest 13-year-old I know. Right. And I'm like, what's your schedule look like?
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. I love that, as long as he's safe, and I tell him, I was like, you don't feel, if you don't feel comfortable or feel like there's anything you can go to your parent about, I'm always there within reason. Don't tell me anything because I will tell your mama. If it's something crazy, But, for what it looks like, we went to Dave & Buster's. We've been to Dave & Buster's. We go out to eat. He's 13, so he likes to eat, He was helping me pick out some layouts for my new apartment. He just moved, so I bought him something that can go cool with his room, but it's completely voluntary. What is also cool though is how Amachi, we try to do monthly events to get our mentors, mentees together. For someone like me, that it's kind of hard. That's why it's easy for me to text Sayer, because I work and I have side projects that I'm a part of. So those monthly events are very helpful in, seeing my mentee, but also making sure I make time to see him aside from that. And I'm a work in progress with that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, but yes, it's completely volunteer. I spend my own, my money. But we are, most of the time, like when we do go to our monthly events, a sponsored event with Amachi, it's taken care of. Yeah. Gotcha. If that's what you meant.
Yeah, that's definitely what I mean. Because, so for me, the reason why that question was asked is really because I'm not going to hold y'all. If you have aspirations of being a mentor or you need a mentor, Amachi is the place you want to connect with. So I want to drop the barriers and give people some real insight on what it could look like, because it's one thing to say, hey, I'm a mentor, I'm a mentee, but if you really don't know what you're getting into, that's where people draw hesitation. So I just want to make sure, we can try to help break some of them barriers and get more mentors and mentees, because it's very valuable.
Especially now with young men, we are definitely looking for more African American men to become mentors.
For sure.
So if there's anyone out there who would like to be a mentor, please reach out to me, Caprice Scott, C. Scott at Amachi Pittsburgh, AmachiPGH.org.
I love that. And again, all that information will be in the description.
Thank you.
Because we definitely, when we're in our communities, because I'm out in our communities a lot, one of the things I go intentionally is talking about financial literacy. Because I'm so proud of it. Recently, there was an article in the Trib. Please check
Yes.
out.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Just giving some insight.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And just giving some insight on, a passion of mine is to try to bridge that wealth gap.
Mm-hmm.
And I think exactly what you guys are doing has impact in when we talk about bridging that gap, because now we never know what a mentor's influence in that child's life can do. It can easily keep them from, going to, gangs or being involved in things they shouldn't be. So to me, that correlation is so impactful. So getting into what we got coming up for November 2nd. I'm very excited. I don't know if you want me to hold it up.
You can hold it up.
I'll hold it up.
Yeah. Well,
because we want to be
we're equally.
We're gonna talk about it. So I do want to give people backstory. So I think you hit me up, July or August?
I think it was July.
July, okay.
Early July. Yeah,
Early July. And I was on my tour of just doing workshops. Garfield Jubilee, Perry High School. Anybody who was called, hey, can you teach financial literacy? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm coming. So
you know what? It was actually initially it was the August Wilson birthday celebration.
Oh yes, that was April.
Yes, that was in April,
Yeah.
that's where it initiated.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And I seen you, and I asked you right then and there when I seen you.
I good memory.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So, all right. So catching us up to where we are today.
Fast
It is
forward.
now October, and we literally, have the event. So what we're going to be talking about is, let's talk about investing 101, and I'll let you speak to the idea of how you guys, because I don't.
What basically, a lot of people in our communities don't know too much about investing. So this is like a bridge into investing. And we want to feel comfortable in making that next step. We know a little bit about saving, budgeting, but actually going into investing, that's something even myself, like I have, there's things you see on television, and all these different social media and different apps, and you just can't be sure and to know. And TC is the person that has that information and that you can go to. So that's what made me initially think of him when I thought about investing 101. You and all your different business ventures. You're out there. So who other than you can I call on and talk to, and also to pour out into the communities so that they can know more about what to do in investing, because it's very I'm not even going to hold you. I think it's a little scary, and it's scary. If it's scary for me, I know it has to be scary for the community as well. So helping our families to invest in themselves, this is the beginning of building that generational wealth that we're talking about.
And I love that. I'm not even going to hold you. It can be scary when there's so much information and you can't decipher what is, I won't even say fact versus fiction, but what is applicable, I think is a better word. Because a lot of times when you talk about social media and then all the information that's out there, it's not that things are not always truthful. It may not be a predicament, or it may not be put in a perception that you can relate to, or you're even in that space. For example, money in California and New York, the cost of living there is vastly different than here where we are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So what that looks like is that person investing $100,000 might not be a huge loss or risk if things don't work out. Whereas if all you have is about $100,000 net worth here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and you spend a good chunk of that on an investment that you didn't understand, or you weren't ready for, or couldn't handle, or you didn't know how, that's a huge, setback. But it also could be a good, So it's really putting fear to rest by just understanding what you're actually talking about. Because I hear the word investing thrown around in our community a lot. And my only issue with it is when people say investing, they don't understand that a level of risk comes associated with that. And not all risk is good or bad. It's really just if you're educated enough. Because if you understand, you can get, and I don't want to dive too deep and give too much away.
Right, because
come to the workshop.
So come to the workshop.
And that's one of the reasons why we are having the workshop to also get people comfortable with knowing. And once you have that knowledge, then that can bring comfortability to you actually stepping and dipping your toe, into the water and just knowing once you have the information about investing, that's why it's called 101, meaning introduction. So, and hopefully there'll be a follow-up from that. And maybe this is something that we could probably build on, because one of the things that we want to do is we want to help the community and we want that upward mobility, and also, as I had said, in one of the things in which I want to not so much preach, but I want to be a staple is that generational wealth.
Yes, and that's a term we hear a lot now lately, generational wealth.
But it's wealth in more things than just money.
Absolutely.
Because there's so much that you can learn. Our generations have we've been on the bottom. So we're working our way up. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. We're getting there. And we're a work in progress.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yes.
And with that being said, we are going to make sure that this information is posted on all social media platforms, starting with mine's. I'm sure Amachi will have it on their site. So you'll be able to tap in with us. Again, it's Saturday, November 2nd, 2024, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is at the UPMC East Neighborhood Center, 6401 Penn Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA 15206.
It's right by the Trader Joe's.
Yes. So every day you'll probably see me posting and reposting and resharing it. So you can, when they just can show up, or are we going to be registering?
We would like you to register.
Okay.
Because if you register, we would like to know, get a synopsis of how many people is going to come. Sure. And we need to know how many people to prepare for. Exactly. But, we'll welcome you. We welcome all. Mm-hmm. But it would be nice if you would register. And there's a registration link.
Yep. And then, again, that'll be all in the description. So you guys can, after you check out our podcast episode here, you can jump right in the description, click the link, and it should take you right to where you can register, because we are very excited about this. I know Amachi continues to do great things. Obviously, you're going to be celebrating the 20th year. This will probably be our last question, actually, because I think we've done so much great things. Where do we see Amachi? And again, this is based, obviously I know there's a lot that goes involved with growing the organization bigger than what it, but where would you guys like to see Amachi, even if it's just a year from the 20th year, or 5 years, 10 years, because you guys have been thriving for 20 years, but now, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Right.
Yeah, that part. I'll say for me, like one thing I love about the atmosphere, Miss Anna is a very busy woman.
Right.
Always in meetings, or always doing something, but always Amachi, Right. And what I love about the atmosphere she is creating in the office is you can knock on her door when she's there, when she's available, right. Or if she's not, she'll tell you once, open door policy. She has an open door policy. And one day I popped into her office and I told her, I was like, I really, here for you is such it will be, I'm claiming it, will be such a big thing in the community that, I really see an Amachi community center. Right. Where there is, we will go into group mentoring. That's what I would love to see. A space where the kids can pop in and just hang out. I really, really could see it branching out into that. That's what I would love to see
Right.
that happen. But right now the focus is implementing, getting recruiting mentors. Like we said, we need mentors.
We cannot emphasize that enough. And not that Caprice, before you go, I just want to say what I love most about your guys' organization is you're dealing in something that should never or will never go away. Because in some way, shape, or form, I'm pretty sure everyone in their life has someone they look up to. You might not call it mentor-mentee relationship, but that's what it is. But if we can just be intentional about, hey, you know what? I have time. I have 4 hours to commit. And I have a year of my time that I can devote to this one individual because we have a common goal, we have a commonality, or I see something in this youth that I think I can help keep him or her on the right path. And that's just, that's something that y'all have already been doing it for 20 years, and I don't see it going away anytime soon.
Unfortunately, there are over 25,000 children impacted by parental or familial incarceration. Because let me clarify that, if your child, it doesn't have to be a parent. If somebody that is directly,
uncle,
close to them,
a friend. And right now, that's our children right now. Like, I mean, I wouldn't automatically say that, but and that is my hope, and is that these young people will get the mentors, and they will not they will break these generational curses so that they will not become and go into prison, and so on and so forth, and that they themselves can become mentor someone else.
And they can.
And it's a revolt. That is my wish, and that's my vision.
And that's kind of where I really, we are in Propel and Stowe Rocks, doing group mentoring. Our mentoring programming team, shout out to Shantae and Dayron. They are working with the kids, and my goal, what I would love to see from that as well, is a program, an Amachi program, and staff member in multiple schools.
Right.
And where, because an example, you see Johnny, the teacher, he's in school, Johnny's head is down because he just went through a very devastating moment, a 24-hour, not even 24 hours before, where he witnessed one of his parents. I'm not going to say a parent, but somebody unfortunately going to jail. And because they witnessed that, they are feeling a type of way. They are, feeling away. And what I've seen, even my experiences, as a teenager, teachers immediately kick the student out. And it's not what we're trying to teach, educate the educators, is that you should always ask. If you say you're working in the schools to care about the kids, actually care about them and ask them what's wrong, instead of why they reacted the way they did. Because then they tell you, they might feel safe telling you, and then that way that's where Amachi can come in, and how can we assist,
And I love what you just said, and here's why. And I don't want to go deep down the rabbit hole with this, because this could be a lot, but it's really, when you talk about a child being impacted by something that happened at home, then they instantly go to school, and do the teachers have enough resources to be, or the skill set and the mindset to be able to deal with? Because they got a lot of,
they have a lot to deal with themselves.
I'm not a teacher, but I've been in those settings to where I got to teach different classes, and I'm like, man, teachers need to make more. I say all that because I don't think the school systems, there's probably a ton of reasons why it's difficult to give enough resources to the teachers to be able to have them have that ability. So it's a lot of factors that makes what you're saying. So why not have more mentors?
Exactly.
To help?
Which is the purpose for Here For You. Here For You, we are, specifically in the Mon Valley area. Again, we are the goal for Here For You is to reach families outside of our program. We me and my coworker, our other outreach coordinators, shout out to Sarah.
Yeah.
We did community Fridays where we were going into the Mon Valley. We were in Braddock, we were in Homestead, we were in McKeesport, we were in Duquesne, literally talking to the people, you know, about where is there a gap? How can we fill that gap? How can we assist? And also not stepping on anyone's toes. Because one thing about Amachi, if we don't have the direct resource, we want to connect with other organizations so that we can provide families and community members with resources. So, which is why like branching out is a big ordeal. You know, Caprice with doing her family strengthening workshops. Myself, I host quarterly events called Connect and Elevate for outreach coordinators and community engagement specialists. I call us, you know, in an aspect we're frontline, you know, in the community, in these streets, as the kids say. You know, and I always see a gap professionally of events that could be useful for recruiting mentors, or where Caprice can slide in and do a presentation. You know, that is what Connect and Elevate is about. And I think when this airs, my third one would have already happened.
Nice.
Connect and Elevate will return in 2024. Connect and Elevate for
community
engagement specialists and outreach coordinators. You know, all about connections. Yeah.
I love that. And I love talking to y'all. So we live in a resource-filled city, but we also live in a city where there's some saturation. And I put it that way because as someone who's had relationships with banks, as a banker myself, there's so much organizations trying to fight for funds and grants and things of that nature. But a lot of times it's, hey, collaboration can go a long way. Everybody's trying to grab and do their own. And why not do more collaborations? Because I get asked all the time, why don't you start a nonprofit? I'm like, for what? There's so many organizations out here doing great things. I don't need to start my own nonprofit. I need to partner with them and see, hey, I'm doing this. Is there a need? Which is why Amachi. You know, so for me, I wish we had more of our people thinking that way of collaborations. I'm like, I don't need to start it. They are doing phenomenal.
If I can do your research, there's so many nonprofits here in Pittsburgh. And it's like, this organization does the same thing, or you might want to talk to them because they almost do the same thing. But this person over here, and it's like, there's a way I feel like we can all connect and elevate.
I love that.
I think, you know, there's a way for us to, you know, navigate those ways, you know, which is why we are big on reaching out and partnership. Always important.
Well, I appreciate you guys allowing me to partnership with you guys. For me, it's really just giving you guys the final word to say anything that you feel you didn't say. And then, you know, I'm ready to wrap this thing up because I'm so excited and I can't wait till November 2nd.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys joining me, and but I want to give you guys the final word to say anything on your mind and, you know, let the people know about Amachi or yourself or whatever you want to talk about.
I'll start. As I said before, I am a family engagement specialist. I would like to plug our Let's Talk Investing. Once again, it's going to be at the neighborhood center, UPMC East Neighborhood Center, 6401 Penn Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA, 15206. Me and TC.
Let's go.
Period.
All right, Ryan.
My name is Ryan Lewis McNeil. I'm the outreach coordinator for Amachi Pittsburgh. I was here more as an aspect of talking of all things Amachi. Let them deal with the financial part of it, financial literacy part of it. Look out for Here For You. If you want to get in touch with us about potentially collaborating, partnering, or you need me to come in and talk, or Sarah to come in and talk, please do not hesitate. If you go on our website, amachipgh.org, and go to the directory, you can find our names, or you can find me, you know, R. McNeil, RMCNEIL, at amachipgh.org. And I'm more than willing to set up a meeting, talk to you. How can we, move forward? And also recruiting mentors. We need mentors. There's so many young kids out there with so much potential that are a little misguided, and their parents, their caregiver, whoever they are with, are overwhelmed. And to be just part of the village.
Be that person that you wish that you had.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and also let's not forget we have the ambassadors program.
Yes,
14 to 18-year-olds, and they are the next one to make that impact in the community.
What did Whitney Houston say?
What did she say?
I believe the children.
I believe the children are our future, because she didn't say a lot.
She said I paused too.
She said a lot.
She said a lot. Yeah.
But she said that she believed the children.
Are,
and they are. They are.
Hey, and on that note, y'all, this is Financial Literacy with TC. I'm TC, and this is Amachi.
Amachi Strong, 20 years.
I'm getting money, you see me. Stack it up to the ceiling. If you're looking for me, you know just where to find me. I'm on a pod with TC, Oh, I'm on a pod with TC, with TC.